Hello, folks. Welcome to my stream. Hey, I've got a lot to talk about here. I may talk almost as long as Nick Miculus. How about that? Not as interesting, but I'll try. All right, let's check it out. Alexandria Cenla Broadcasting Tower Cam on Texas Street. Did show us some clouds earlier, less cloudiness now, a little bit in the distance along the horizon, a little bit more clouds showing up on the Gina cam there, and likewise courtesy of Cenla Broadcasting. Thank those folks for the cams. Weather headlines, folks, coming up. We've got the Arctic front coming in Sunday. In fact, it's taking aim at us right now. You'll feel it tomorrow. Winter storm watches are now up from all the National Weather Service offices in this area. Mostly a snow event, but some freezing rain, a little sleet could happen in I-10 and Highway 190 corridors there across South parishes. So right now, we're still seeing a little rain out ahead of the front. Going back up to the northwest, we're seeing the frozen stuff already. I'll put this into motion for about an hour. So you can see it's snowing in the Texas Panhandle with temperatures in the 20s up there. And so today, I think Oakdale was 73 in mid-afternoon. So there's that definite contrast. Snow 20s up north and windy down this way. We've got a pleasant day, so enjoy it because it is going to be the last one for a while. Satellite and radar combining. This is not the Arctic frontal boundary. This is a first front that I was telling you about. Arctic front still back up to the northwest of us with the cold air behind it, but it will be establishing itself here during the night and into tomorrow morning is when you'll really start feeling the colder air coming back in. All right, let's check things out from the Futurecast. I'm going to step you through the next couple of days with essentially, other than the cold, no issues coming up over the next couple of days. This is your church Sunday school forecast, mid-morning Sunday, no issues, but it'll be chilly and breezy, so dress accordingly. And then Sunday evening for evening service, or if you want to go out to eat or something like that, no issues. Probably mostly clear sky, no precipitation at that time. And even into Monday, yes, there will be a Monday commute back to work and school. There's no reason to call school off on Monday or work or anything like that. So you got a good morning commute, although it'll be very cold, coldest of the winter so far. And then Monday evening, no issues there, but it won't be long away. Be over in Texas starting to develop. All right, so Sunday morning lows feeling the Arctic front. Let's check out numbers to the north where we see a light freeze coming into Manning, Natchitoches, and Winfield. You'll be the first to feel the colder air, so therefore your temperatures will be lower and lowest in the area. In fact, with a light freeze heading into Alexandria, Pineville Metro, more toward the middle 30s, just above freezing, and upper 30s in areas to the south of us. So averaging about 35, 29 to 38 for your temperature range. And again, that depends on the timing of the front. You get the front first up to the northwest, you're colder. The front early in the morning, down south, well, you're a little bit warmer if you want to use that terminology. All right, folks, these upper level patterns, the weather we get at the surface is determined by features aloft. It forces the issue, forces the changes down here at the surface. So this big pattern right here with the rotating polar vortex, and on the back side, west side of it, you get that wind flow of the atmosphere coming right off the Arctic down through Canada. That is what we're feeling, folks. And by Tuesday, what we have right here is a disturbance, a piece of energy, a lobe of energy right there, and that is moving toward the east as well. And this is what provides the lift and the moisture. For winter storms, we have to have three principal ingredients. We have to have adequate cold and the correct temperature profile through the atmosphere. We've got to have moisture, and we've got to have lift. So there's the cold air, there's the moisture and lift. So we've got everything that we need for a potential setup for a winter storm. In fact, the watches are already out. Going and playing this forward through the rest of the week through Thursday, we got another dip in the jet stream there, but that one is not going to cause as much lift or bring as much moisture with it. So yeah, I did hold out for a low end chance of precipitation there Thursday night. But other than that, looks like that's going to drive a front through, and that'll finally clean things out. In fact, here's a look at the GFS model. As I said yesterday, on Monday, start looking in Texas Monday afternoon, early Monday evening, and you'll start to see a winter storm taking shape there. as you'll see ice, snow, frozen forms of precipitation on the radars in that particular area. And then it will move fairly quickly eastward during the overnight hours. And once we get into Tuesday morning, this is 7 o'clock, and there may not be a commute there Tuesday morning. I suspect that all the schools in this area will be canceled. Work is going to be a nightmare to get to even by that time with the onset of the situation, because it will get worse Tuesday before it gets better. In fact, by noon, the snow, the winter storm situation will be getting worse at that time. It remained pretty tough there through the afternoon hours. And finally, Tuesday evening, it will start pushing out to the south and to the east and ending by midnight. And right now, there's going to be at least some clearing. Depending on how much clearing we get depends on how determines how cold it gets Wednesday morning. And then this second system by next Sunday will start to bring in some liquid chances of precipitation there. All right, so future ice totals according to our Barron model. Not much ice is expected up this way. We can't completely rule out just a tad of freezing rain, but the profile of temperature will be very deep cold air. That always favors snow as the predominant mode. But to the south, along the I-10 corridor and south, there will be more of a shallow dome of colder air. So there could be some freezing rain and icing down that way. Now, as far as sleet's concerned, we could see a little sleet here. Sleet is usually associated with a moderate depth of cold air overhead. And so, yeah, you see some sleet here, but I don't think it's going to be a huge player. I think the snow is going to be the main thing. In fact, this will be anticipating a major winter event. In fact, we're looking at some history here, and I'm going to have a little history for you, so stay with me in the next couple of minutes for that little nugget. So right now, the forecast is for about 2 to 4 inches rain, 2 to 4 inches of snow on either side of an axis of heavy snow that runs through the East Texas Lakes area, through much of central Louisiana, and then into western Mississippi there. So we're right in that particular area, and there's about 3 to 7 inches of snow. Seems like the best bet right now in that particular area. So again, this is a pretty big deal for Cenla. So the winter storm watch is up. Overall, this is going to be a major event. So I got my bar graphs out there. As far as snow, this is a major event. Icing, not so major, more or less a little nuisance, something like that. There will be some wind with this, and that's going to work with the temperatures that are low to produce pretty low wind chills in the teens. And so you need to be aware of that it's actually most of the time, because of the wetness Tuesday and the wind, it will feel colder than what the thermometer's, much colder than what the thermometer says. So if it says it's in the 20s or 30s, it's going to feel more like the teens with that. So the wind and temperature combination will be there as rep. In fact, I'm going to call it kind of a disruptive area, because it's going to disrupt things because we're going to have to employ our 4 Ps. Remember that? People, check on neighbors, friends, relatives, the elderly, the infirmed, and people like that you know need some help when things get bad. All right. Pets. Make sure your pets don't have water that's going to freeze. Make sure that they're going to have plenty of warm area and out of the wind to be in. And of course, plants and pipes with this, especially Wednesday morning. If it clears off Tuesday night after that snow and leaves a snow pack to chill down, we will definitely have a severe freeze that morning. All right, let's go into some more impacts for you. First of all, as far as power is concerned, power loss will be an issue with this, but it's kind of on the lower side. I'm going to say isolated to scattered. So yeah, if we have 8 inches of snow, 5 inches of snow, that's going to collect on power lines. It's going to collect on tree branches and that sort of thing. So there could be some tree damage there, and some that could translate into some loss of power. But right now, it doesn't look like a major power loss type of situation. Usually to have that, you need a lot of icing from freezing rain. All right, travel. Yes, that will be highly impacted. Widespread travel issues. There'll be widespread closures and widespread disruptions with this particular event, given the amount of snow that we're expecting A lot of bridges. I think roads will be closed. Again, travel will be a nightmare. Could even have to suspend air travel out of AEX and some of those kind of issues there. So travel closures and disruptions, a major deal. Tree damage, a little bit less, as I said there. Snow is not quite as impactful with power outages and tree damage as icing is, but I still think there's going to be some issues with that as well. Okay, finally, top Alexandria snow events. This is from the National Weather Service office in Lake Charles. Represents a part of history for the Alexandria area. This is Alexandria only, all right, over the many years that weather records have been kept. All right, so the heaviest snow on record for Alexandria proper is over 9 inches in the February 1960 storm. In 1940, and January 23rd, which is going to be similar to the timing with this one, we had over 8 inches of snow for the second largest. Third largest is a tie from February 13 through 15, 1895. And by the way, in that one, there were parts of Louisiana that had 2 feet of snow. Parts of Beaumont, Port Arthur had 30 inches of snow in that one. We were far enough north to be spared the heaviest snow, but it still stands as the third one. 1901, after a blisteringly hot summer, we had a big 8-inch snow at the end of December, and in 1949, just under 7 inches there on January 30th. So that's a little fun stuff for you. So this is why Nick and I are saying that this could turn out to be, if we get that 6, 7, 8 inches of snow, 5 inches, it's not going to be on this list. It could be if it's 8 inches, but if it's 5 or 6, it would be just off this top 5 list there, but certainly of historic proportions. 7-day forecast. Sort of turning all this out for you. 35 and 44, chilly day, cold, getting cold Sunday as that Arctic air mass establishes itself. Remember, cold air is dense and it's heavy, and once it's established, it's not going anywhere. So we're colder Monday. We'll see a mostly sunny sky throughout the day Monday. That's going to help us warm up into the 30s, mid to upper 30s after a hard freeze Monday morning. And then Tuesday comes the precipitation in the form mainly of snow. You see not getting above freezing, so just about everything is going to stick that falls. And then Wednesday, if we clear out Tuesday night, we'll get a 15 average. That means some folks could even be colder than that. Now, we have some low clouds lingering or something like that. We'd be more in line with maybe 18 to 20 degrees for a low or something like that. So I went ahead and just kind of assumed models are indicating that there's going to be a good bit of clearing for Tuesday night. So I went with the mid-teens there for Wednesday. Not going to warm up much Wednesday if we have a snowpack. Upper 30s, that could be pretty liberal. There, maybe mid-30s might even be best, and some low 30s in some locations. We see a little bit more warming Thursday, a little bit more Friday, and more on Saturday as we finally try to recover from this prolonged cold spell. The second front will be in the forecast there in the Thursday, Friday time frame, kind of cleaning things out a little bit with no precipitation expected there Friday and Saturday. There's a little bump in the road there on Thursday with that second upper level system. All right, folks, that's it from me. Thanks for being with me. I told you I had a lot to talk about. And of course, Nick Mikulas, the winter guru, will be with you in the morning. And I'll be in the forecast center, and I'll be around somewhere, sometime for the day tomorrow. And we'll be back Monday as well as we continue to draw closer to a potential